Hello and welcome to the Mayo Soccer Show. It's week 6 and later on we're going to have action from the Super League, Premier League and League 2. But it's the Toner Cup that grabs our attention first, and on Saturday evening Ballina Town B progressed to the next round of the Toner Cup as an impressive first half performance put them past the challenge of Partry Athletic. A Jamie Moyles double and a great strike from Brian Kinney on the stroke of half time put Philly Diverside in control. Partry did make it 2-1 at one stage, but in truth they never really threatened the Ballina defence too much, and Ballina put themselves in the draw for the semi-finals. Manula continued their perfect start to the season with a hard-fought 2-1 win over Kilmore on Saturday evening. Damien Walsh gave Manula the half-time lead before Roger Clark doubled their lead right after half-time. Kilmore pulled a goal back shortly after Clark got his second, as Mossy Lally's side took control of the game. Kilmore once again pulled to within one goal of their hosts going into the last 5 minutes, but Desi Campbell finally put the game to bed with a goal just before the final whistle. Crossmolina also made it through to the semi-finals with a 4-1 win over Castlebar Celtic B. Just like in their league encounter 2 weeks ago, it was Kefala that did the damage as he scored a brace, while Shane Hinnigan and Sean Cadden were also on target for Derek Graham's side. And a quick recap on all the scores from the Toner Cup quarter-finals. Crossmolina beat Castlebar Celtic by 4-1. Mulranny United conceded the game to Killala. Ballina Town B were 3-1 victors over Partry Athletic, and Manula B 4-2 winners over Kilmore. So that gives us a very, very strong semi-final lineup with all the top 4 teams from the division all getting through to the semi-final stage. So in the draw, it's number 1 Ballina Town, number 2 Crossmolina, number 3 Killala, and number 4 Manula B. And to do the draw for the semi-finals, James Larkin and Seamus Hughes of the Mayo League. James will pull the home teams.
Number 1.
And the first one out is number 1, it's Ballina Town B.
Number 4.
We'll play number 4, which is Manula B.
Number 2.
Number 2 is Crossmolina, a home tie for them against local rivals Killala. So that's the ties for the semi-finals. Ballina Town B versus Manula B and Crossmolina versus Killala. And both those ties will take place on either Saturday the 23rd or Sunday the 24th of June. And now our attention turns to the Killeen Sports Ground League 2. Probably the biggest crowd of the weekend turned out in Billeek for the Ballina derby between Hollister and Ballina United. Stephen Cawley got Hollister off to the perfect start after just 4 minutes with a strike from the edge of the box. 5 minutes later it was 2-0 when Malachi McCarn slotted home from the spot after a foul in the box. After a terrible start, Ballina United started to find a foothold in the game and got themselves back into contention when Shane Maughan capitalised on some sloppy Hollister defending to score from close range on 17 minutes. 5 minutes into the second half, Stephen McDonough restored the 2-goal advantage for Hollister when he got on the end of a pinpoint cross to hammer home a header from 6 yards. Malachi McCarn seemed to put the game beyond doubt on 75 minutes when he converted his second penalty of the day. But Ballina United kept battling and Brad Langdon made it 4-2 with 10 minutes left with what was probably the best goal of the day with a strike from the edge of the box. In the other game in the Killeen Sports Ground League 1, Kilmarnock moved into second spot with a 4-1 win over Newport Borough on Sunday afternoon, as the newcomers to League 2 continued to impress on their debut season. And a look at the table. 4 wins from 4 gives Hollister a convincing lead at the top of the table with 12 points, followed by Kilmarnock on 7, and only a point separates the bottom 3 sides. So that's it from part 1 from episode 6. Join us in part 2 when we'll be taking a look at all the action from the Super League and the Premier League. Join us then.